little before 6 a.m. so I wouldn't choose to run this early unless I absolutely had to, but we have a pretty busy day, and so I want to make sure that I get it in, and when I give myself enough time so I don't feel rushed during my workout, and then the rest of my day goes really well. So I've got a little bit of a longer run today that I'm gonna hit, and I'm just gonna kind of take you guys through a little bit of my morning process before this long run. When it comes to fuel, I typically don't like to eat a lot before I run, which is something that I'm working on. So I'm always trying to make sure I get something in because I just woke up from a fast. I've been fasting for I slept 8.5 hours, so I haven't eaten, and I didn't eat an hour before bed. So first thing I do is hydrate. I come downstairs, I fill up my water, I add element to it because there's electrolytes, sodium, magnesium, and potassium, so I throw that in and I work on sipping that. Then I have a banana. So the banana, I actually weighed it, it was like 120, 122 grams, just to get a good idea of how many carbs. And so I kind of take my time eating that. If I'm really hungry, sometimes I'll have a rice cake, but today I don't really feel that hungry, so I'm gonna stick with my water and my banana, and then I'll have a huge meal when I get home. Yeah. Milo is not a morning dog. He likes to sleep. Let's go. I don't know why. Every time I wake up, I put a long sleeve shirt on and I come out to the garage, it's like 100 degrees. It's just like something that I feel like is gonna be freezing cold. I get back in bed and it's nice and warm. So first things I usually start with when I'm running is I'm gonna start with some active holds. I gotta go get my watch. Oh, got a clock. I plugged my watch in because it was almost dead and I need it for the run. So we're gonna give it some time to charge. It was bad planning on my part. All right, so I've got a clock. So I'm gonna start with 1 minute active holds. So I'm just loading my calves, support my Achilles. So I'm just putting the ball of my foot on this plate. From here, I wanna think about my knee staying out, staying really active through my arch, and then loading through here. So this isn't doing all the work. So I'm not way up high, I'm not way down low. I'm kind of right in the middle. I'm gonna hold for about a minute. And I'm actively pressing through my big toe, which is the hard part, because I really want to roll, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep that big toe pressed down all the way through my pinky toe, keeping my arch active, having a soft bend in the knee, and keeping the knee out. One side for me is significantly harder than the other. If you're a runner or you do a lot of jumping, things like that, I highly encourage you adding these iso holds into your training. It's going to make a world of a difference. So I've got 3 exercises I'm going to do before I head out on my run. So I also really like incorporating this in before I go out and run. 1, because it's kind of like my built-in warm-up. So it gets my ankles, my calves, my Achilles, everything ready. I can even feel my glutes starting to fire. And then 2, it continues to give me time to wake up before I just hit the pavement. Because sometimes I would roll out of bed, lay my clothes out before, throw them on and run out the door. And I feel like that's okay to do, especially if that's all the time that you have. But now I'm starting to get focused and ready so I can have a really good run this morning.
Today's video is sponsored by Element. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. So none of the junk and lots of salt. No sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. Electrolytes are responsible for hundreds of functions in the body, including hydration. Water alone is not enough. Element is formulated to help everyone and anyone with their electrolyte needs with a science-backed formula of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Element can help prevent and eliminate things such as headaches, sleeplessness, muscle cramps, fatigue, which can be common symptoms of electrolyte deficiency. Right now, Element is offering my subscribers, that's you, a free sample packet with any order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Christy Ermo. This deal is only available through my link, linked below. You can get it at drinklmnt.com/Christy Ermo. Now back to our video.
What do you think, bud? Oh, it feels so good. I go through some heel drops, followed by some calf raises. It's funny how much stronger I'm already getting and how much better just from incorporating these regular. We do a lot of jumping, but taking some time to isolate and strengthen your calves is not a bad thing, especially when you do a lot of running and jumping. I'm doing 2 sets of 30 on the calf raises, and I did 2 sets of 10 on the controlled heel drops with the assist list. It's early, I can't talk. The assisted lift. So I was dropping one heel and then both feet were helping me get back to the top. That way I'm not putting too much load and strain, but I'm getting a nice good stretch on the way down. So 2 sets of 30, 2 sets of 10. Legs feel pretty good, arms are a little bit tight, but I just like to get a little bit of blood flow. I'll do a couple leg swings here in a second, just get my hips moving right before I get running. And then I noticed once I do that, it really helps. Just even that first 5 minutes helps me feel better and warm up faster into my run. Versus not moving at all, just hitting the ground, taking about 10 minutes to get some blood flow going. So, especially if areas are tight, I like to hit those. So I'm gonna start really easy. I'm gonna mix in some speed work and then I'm gonna end really easy. So I'm gonna focus on the middle. It's like the best part of the sandwich. It's like the peanut butter and jelly or the meaty part of the sandwich. So that middle part will be a little spicy, but it should be good. So I'm doing everything I can to set myself up for a good run this morning. I can see the sun starting to peek up so I don't have to run with my headlamp, which I would prefer not to do yet. We'll do that in the fall. Nobody really, well, maybe some people, but I don't really like getting up at 5 a.m. But I do know that I am always so happy and I feel so good once my workout's done. I procrastinate a little bit more than I should in the mornings. I'm like, 5 more minutes, 1 more stretch. But I know as soon as I hit the ground running and as soon as I'm, 5 minutes in, it's the most beautiful morning. The sun is rising. It's so peaceful and it's so calm. It's like, why did I not want to do this in the first place? You never understand. Just go through that process regularly. The biggest thing is staying consistent. Stay as consistent as you can and just get into a routine. Trust your routine to pull you through on the days you don't feel like it, and you'll reap all the benefits in the end. Sometimes when your alarm goes off, it's like, oh, do I really want to get out of bed right now? And you look out the window and it's dark and you're all warm in your bed and you're like, yeah, I could just skip it. But then later in the day, you feel super guilty. So, or you just feel frustrated, like, why didn't I just get out of bed? So I got out of bed, I took you guys for my run with me, and now I feel amazing. I'm ready to take on the day. I've had my breakfast, I did my cool down in the garage, and I know that I got my workout in early. So now I can just focus on the work that I need to get done. And so I think it's just remembering that when the alarm goes off, is trying to remember, like, how am I gonna feel once this workout's done? And I'm probably gonna feel amazing. And usually that's the case. When I get done, I'm always like, why didn't I wanna do it in the first place? Why didn't I wanna get out of bed? You kind of forget how you felt at that time. So it's kind of putting yourself into the future and remembering you will thank yourself. There's never been a workout that I didn't thank myself for getting up and getting going and doing it. So as soon as I got home from my run, I was super sweaty. I finished the water that I showed you guys at the start. So I always fill up my Yeti. I drink about half of it before I go out, half of it when I get home. That way it's ready for me on the counter. And then I make my breakfast. So I had sourdough toast. I had 2 pieces of toast with about 150 grams of egg whites with 1 egg and a little bit of avocado and a clementine. And then from there, I got to make my coffee. So I do collagen coffee with 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, and I finished my water. Sit down, have a nice breakfast, and kind of let myself transition from the run and the workout into the breakfast back to work. I think that's something that's super important. Is I went in the garage also to do a little cool down stretching. So I took you guys through my warm up, but making sure that the first thing I don't do when I come back in from my run is dive onto my email and dive into Instagram and dive into social media and all of these things that can elevate your cortisol levels. It's like, give myself a second to kind of come down from the workout, to process what I've just done, to appreciate what I've done, to ride that high into my breakfast, into my cool down, and then give myself some transition time into that work, which is also why I got up a little bit earlier. It's never good, no matter who you are, or where you are, to feel like you're rushing all around. So trying not to rush, trying to enjoy the workout, get it in, do it with quality, and then have a nice breakfast and get into work is how I like to start my days. I'm getting to do this. I didn't really get to do this when I was training for the CrossFit Games as much. You guys were with me in the gym a lot. And those were very scheduled and regimented sessions, and typically it was after our classes. So our first class starts at 5 a.m. and the first opening was around 10 a.m. So that's usually when I started my workouts. Having some flexibility and putting these workouts up front in my day has been really enjoyable and really fun. And it's just allowing me to do more things that I really love to do that I didn't get to do as much of when I was training for the CrossFit Games. So I'm enjoying showing you guys another side of training, and I'm enjoying showing you some of the hobbies that I've had even before I started CrossFit and how I fit them into my life and my daily schedule now that I'm not training for the CrossFit Games. For all my runners out there, if you liked the video, please smash that like button. Leave a comment below with what's your favorite time of day to run. Are you a morning runner? Are you an evening runner? Or do you like to go at lunch? Or when can you fit it into your schedule? I'd love to know. Comment below. Don't forget, smash the like button. It helps our channel. Let us know if you want to see more videos like this in the future or what you guys want to see, because we definitely want to bring it to you. We look forward to seeing you in the next video, and have a great day.